Blackleaf Canyon is one of many canyons in Montana's Rocky Mountain front. Here along the front, a 150-mile north-south mountain range just to the south of Glacier National Park, the Rockies leap up from the Great Plains. Here grizzlies still roam the Great Plains, their ancestral home. Gray wolf, prairie falcon, white pelican, golden eagle, and numerous other species live here. Oil and gas development threaten the biological integrity of the front. In Blackleaf Canyon, oil and gas drilling have been proposed by the Bureau of Land Management. The planned project would include 14 gas wells, 36 miles of new pipeline, and 23 miles of roads. This would affect 40,000 acres of grizzly habitat in roadless land adjoining the Bob Marshall Wilderness.
These wells producing 2 and 3 million cubic feet a day. I mean, they're very, very productive wells.
The Blackleaf area itself has become very crucial. It's adjacent to the Antelope Butte game management area, and with the Boone and Crockett Ranch to the north and the Pine Butte area to the south, the status of the bears rides a lot on the Blackleaf. The Blackleaf, we found, was used a lot by grizzly bears. They follow the streams down way out into the prairies. They use the swamp itself and then go back into the mountains up the drainages there for denning in the winter. The areas become crucial in that they not only have found both oil and gas in the area, but they are now actually exploiting the gas resource and have a reduction plant there and all.
If in the evolution of our country, you know, we lose an animal or two, they become extinct. They become extinct because they're no longer needed. I mean, I really personally don't miss the saber-toothed tiger or the dinosaur. I mean, you know, we don't need them. And we're always undergoing change in our world, and people are, at this point, part of this ecosystem.
The Alliance is a network of about 150 conservation groups and small businesses and individuals, and we're centered here, concerned about the Northern Rockies. We're trying to help protect some of the resources and some of the values that make this place a great place to live. We're talking about water quality, wildlife. Some of these things are great fishing and hunting opportunities. A lot of these things that we treasure are threatened now. There's a proposal in the U.S. Senate, and it was put together by Max Baucus and Conrad Burns, our two senators. And this proposal would release a lot of our remaining wild lands to development. And we're real concerned about it because the Northern Rockies here, this is the last place where we've got wildlife herds of this magnitude, where we have good trout fishing, where we have clean water, where we have opportunities for recreation. And the Baucus-Burns bill would release about 85% of these wild lands for development.
On February 10, 1992, Senator Max Baucus agreed to talk with local citizens at his office in downtown Missoula. The following discussion concerns the Baucus-Burns bill regarding wilderness in Montana.
Probably makes more sense if I hear from you what your concerns are and what
we know where you stand. Why don't we do about a 45-minute question and answer period then?
Two things concern me, and in particular is the legislative history here, the record of intent, and I'm concerned about that because you've expressed intent to move what looks like a lot of wood, and what that might mean to roadless management. And the other part is that I'm not sure what you're telling us sometimes. I know that you reassure us that, for instance, the Forest Service will do EISs.
What is basically a non-labor intensive method, then what are we going to have for future use?
I got to tell you, forest products industry doesn't like this bill. You know why they don't like it? Because they have the exact opposite view of you just said. They think this release language doesn't mean one whit bit of difference. That they can be sued right and left by the environmental community, and the only thing that slightly shields them is, like, as we said earlier, is wilderness suitability. They don't think that's pittance. They think that's pittance. They don't think that, because the real environmental statutes that really count are the Endangered Species Act. That's, up to the flathead, for example. It's on grizzly habitat and so forth. It's Endangered Species Act is the driving force there.
Welcome to Counterculture, where we're encountering people from the counter. Today we're encountering counter people from Butterfly Herbs. We have with us Daryl. Daryl, how do you feel about Max Baucus's new wilderness bill?
Kind of sad, in a sense. There's a lot of history behind this. It was during the Lincoln and Grant presidencies that these private companies, Weyerhaeuser, Champion, are the modern-day landholders of these land grants. They've chopped that land to bits. Champion has supposedly cut 99% of their timber base and their timberlands. And now they're looking towards the public forests. What's left of the West, it's kind of sick in that between Lincoln and Grant, over 18 million acres easily was given to these railroad companies. And what we're trying to protect now through the Northern Rockies Ecosystem Protection Act is a similar amount of land, yet we fight tooth and nail to get what little is really left of these great wildlands, because that's what they are.
But I think it's basically a political compromise that doesn't make a whole lot of sense in terms of ecological science or long-term health of the environment or the economic health of the community.
I'm a pretty hardliner about wilderness, and I feel that some of the concessions that he's making are not worthy of a wilderness bill for the state. I'd like to see more wilderness in the state until we learn how to manage better the roadless areas that we have that aren't considered wilderness.
The film you are now about to see was filmed over 30 years ago by Dr. George Weisel, a fish biologist from the University of Montana, and Dr. Bert Pfeiffer, another professor from the University of Montana. They made this film in an attempt to convince Missoula to clean up its river. The film was shown to every PTA at every grade school in Missoula, and shown at Union Hall and at the Kiwanis Club. And the film turned out to be quite instrumental in getting the passage of the sewage treatment plant in Missoula. The title of this film is called Missoula, Garden City or Garbage City.
The following is a comment from Kim Williams in 1982 and is read by Betty Tomlinson.
I started my walk at the Higgins Avenue Bridge, where a beaver made a home 2 years ago. That particular beaver is gone, but you can spot beaver in the Clark Fork River, also muskrat. And if you walk along the bank in early morning or late evening, you can spot a deer. Last Monday, I didn't expect to see deer, or beaver, or muskrat. I was walking in the middle of the day. I went to see the vegetation, the shrubs and trees and flowers, and the birds, of course. Bird life is part of a river. I think sometimes we forget that a river isn't just water running. A river the stature of Missoula's Clark Fork is far more than water running. But what is it? Is it the sum total of 100 things? That's what I went walking to see. Cottonwood trees, Yes, we all know the Clark Fork has to have cottonwood trees, and willows, and red-stemmed dogwood. Without those, you wouldn't have the Clark Fork River. Aspen trees, alder bushes, sarvisberry, they belong. I ate 3 ripe sarvisberries, and it was a very satisfying thing to do.
The earth is of all living things. The earth is a self-sustaining process. The world, on the other hand, is of people. The world is an artificial system that draws its sustenance from the earth. Observably, the world is destroying the earth. What can we do, you and I, to make a personal contribution to halting the ecocide we see around us? Well, let's consider the local farmers market. By participating in a farmer's market, you return some energy to the earth in several ways. Many of these food producers are concerned with healthy and attractive food. Many use natural fertilizers and compost.
But next year, keep me in mind because the ones in August and early September are really sweet.
Hello. It's kind of chilly down here. Yeah.
All of these foods are so much fresher. They've come only tens of miles, using less energy to transport, using less packaging, using fewer preservatives and chemicals. And the grower is right there if you have questions.
We're going to find some garlic. Where's the garlic? Look at the apples.
Why don't I give you my name and phone number? I'll tell you what.
I fully believe him. We shouldn't get up until an hour
Two regular coffees, please.
It's a social as well as an economic exchange. An economic exchange that supports the local economy at ground level. There are also some local crafts.
Yeah. We'll have that. We have the most battle. And,
Make it a point to visit your farmer's market. It's something you can do personally that benefits the earth as well as yourself.
you might try it here. I only have 3 left, so you might not have too many to choose from.
This is a family group in the high Arctic. I'm a research biologist, of course, and a lot of these films were made while I was doing research. In this case, mother is drugged and being processed. The cubs trust her, and she's drugged, but as far as the cubs are concerned, she's trusting us, so they trust us. All the bears will head towards water. Their sanctuary always is to head for the water. And in the process of trying to get drugs into the bears, what we do is we get them out of the water, get them onto land, come in as slow as we can behind them, and then dart into their tail end. Even the big males, and you're looking at two fellas here that weigh 1,200, 1,400 pounds. These three big males on the Hudson Bay coast, all are going to run around 1,400 pounds. But they too, and when they sense danger, they head for the water. That's their sanctuary from other bears and from people and such. Another animal that you find up there is the musk oxen, of course. They're just like an enormous blanket with legs. They have the greatest quality of wool of any animal in the world. They can stand there like this one at 60 below with a strong wind blowing and be essentially not affected at all by the weather. They'll be feeding or moving, pawing for sedges in a climate that we couldn't stand for any period of time at all.
What can I tell you that you do not know? That sitting here, home in Montana after 2 years away, Borneo is a dream of green, of insects honking like car horns, of rain like cataracts, of beautiful people who put a hand into yours as if placing the world's last butterfly, fallen and dazed, back on a leaf. That these people once hunted heads and so were famous. That headhunting is irrelevant now and will not be mentioned again. That their land is being taken away bit by bit, the length and breadth of Sarawak, North Borneo. That their rainforest, the oldest in the world, is being cut. That they stand in feathered hats, earlobes stretched to the breasts, spears and blowpipes in hand, in front of Japanese bulldozers. May I tell you that right now on foot-polished hardwood porches far upriver, the richest of countries is sitting down face to face with some of the last traditional tribal people on earth. That we, the consumers of this earth, are tearing the trees and vines from around their houses, that they do not want this. That at this moment, one timber camp in the Barham is taking out $3.6 million a month of timber, and paying for that privilege about 1%, or $1.35 to each native of that district. That most of the timber goes to Japan, much of it to plywood forms for concrete, which are thrown away after 2 uses. That the forest will be gone in 7 to 10 years. That the government and companies have no thought for tomorrow in Sarawak. Although Mitsubishi is looking now towards Chile and New Zealand, and last year they bought extensive concessions in Alberta, Canada.
Sell my soul to you. How can the state sell my soul to you? How
man who owns a buffalo feels like a man indeed. The 15th International Wildlife Film Festival is just around the corner. Featuring the top wildlife films from around the world, the show begins March 28th at the Wilma Theater and runs daily and nightly through April 4th. In conjunction with the International Wildlife Film Festival is the Kids Wildlife Art Club, representing children's artwork from all over western Montana. This show is now on display at the Southgate Mall. This year, the International Wildlife Film Festival opens with a new event, Wild Walk, the grand opening parade. Featured in the Wild Walk will be giant, multi-operator puppets. These puppets will be constructed by volunteers of the Missoula community. Artist Craig Mintier will oversee the design of the puppets. Anyone interested in assisting with the construction of these puppets and operating them in the parade should attend a general meeting this Sunday, March 8th at 7 p.m. at the University Congregational Church in the Fireside Room, 401 University Avenue. The Wild Walk Parade is a free event that will take place in downtown Missoula from noon to 1 p.m. on Saturday, March 28th. All members of the community are encouraged to join along in Wild Walk by dressing as their favorite species of wild animal. Again, this Sunday, March 8th at 7 p.m. at the University Congregational Church, there will be a general meeting regarding this parade. For more information, call the Wildlife Film Festival office at 728-9380.
Before me, right before us, right here, this is the Old North Trail. This is the trail that was used for hundreds of years by the prehistoric peoples. This right here is the place where they chose to go this way or that way. This trail, these ruts were carved by the travois of hundreds of thousands of Indians coming over the Bering Strait, dragging their travois up this gulch, causing these ruts that have been built over hundreds and thousands of years. This is where they decided to go this way or that way on the Old North Trail. Look, part of the bone. These fragments, these bones, are probably from some prehistoric peoples. Chips, perhaps, of something they had for dinner. Bone chips, perhaps of tools. Right before us, right here, on this Old North Trail, as you can see, clearly marked in the landscape. I'm David Attenborough. Thank you for joining me with Down to Earth.